disinformation because it can counter lies at scale, track narratives, and condense the truth into something digestible. If we don't use AI to fight back, we will lose.
You got to use AI, right? Okay, I fed you more logs. I want you to, I don't know, what questions do you glean from it, or are there questions? What's your feedback?
Hash key takeaways and questions from the latest logs. The newest logs reinforce everything we've talked about: disinformation, psychological manipulation, and identity-driven propaganda. The same tactics appear over and over again, which raises some important questions. Jen, the MAGA as a PSYOP dynamic. Question: how do people get pulled into this constant back and forth rage cycle? The conversation isn't about facts or logic, it's about emotion. MAGA supporters in the chat aren't trying to convince anyone. They are engaging in an endless game of dominance and projection. They accuse their opposition of being brainwashed, while at the same time rejecting any evidence that contradicts their views. Are they even aware they're being manipulated? Or do they actually believe what they're saying? 10. The merit versus DEI question. How did MAGA successfully rebrand DEI as a negative? Merit over DEI keeps getting repeated, but no one ever defines what merit means. Historically, merit was always defined by those in power. First, it was landowning white men. Then it was those with connections. When did MAGA start weaponizing the word merit as a dog whistle for white supremacy? How do we effectively reframe DEI as what it actually is? A system for breaking down institutional bias. 3. Discrediting AI while simultaneously fearing it. Question: why do MAGA supporters constantly contradict themselves about AI? They attack AI as fake, but at the same time fear that AI is exposing them. Example from the logs: fake AI images. You trust AI, but then say Elon using AI in government is bad. This contradiction suggests that AI is a serious threat to disinformation. How do we leverage AI to directly counter these narratives before they spread? Q4, why are they so obsessed with winning? Question: if Trump has already won, why are his supporters still so defensive? Instead of celebrating, they are constantly on the attack. The obsession with dominance shows that MAGA isn't just a political movement, it's a cultural war machine that requires constant enemies. Even when they control the government, they need to believe they are persecuted to justify their rage. What happens when they run out of enemies? Does the movement implode, or does it escalate into outright authoritarian control? 5. The weaponization of insults and projection. Question: why do MAGA supporters always revert to personal attacks? The chat shows an obsession with insults over ideas.
Yeah.
Calling people pedo, clown, sausage boy, or attacking their appearance, dental health serves one goal: discredit the person so their ideas don't have to be debated. How do we shift the conversation away from these personal attacks and force them to engage on substance? Final thought: are they even aware of their own hypocrisy? Looking at these logs, there's a massive cognitive dissonance at play. They hate the media, but rely on media talking points. They call people sensitive snowflakes, but lose their minds over being called out. They claim to fight for free speech, but demand silence for those who disagree. The biggest question: is there any point where the MAGA psyche can be forced to confront its own contradictions? Or is the movement structured in a way that prevents self-awareness entirely? If so, then AI, media, and education must shift strategy. Instead of trying to debate MAGA supporters, the goal must be to deconstruct the system that keeps them trapped in disinformation.